What's up, everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome back to MX vs. ATV All Out, where today we're going to be playing the 2020 Redbud National as part of the 2020 Pro Motocross DLC package that is $19.99. They released this package a couple months, or about a month ago now, I guess, month and a half ago, and it includes 11 of the national tracks plus Loretta Lynn's, and they say that eventually Fox Raceway will be coming as well. But the tracks are basically released every week or so. There's going to be a little bit of a break coming up here in I think a couple weeks where there's going to be no track released. But Redbud is the latest track to have dropped. It's going to drop today. That would be June 25th on your console or on your PC, Steam store, whatever. And it should be downloading to your system. If it hasn't already, it will be at some point today. So we're going to play it today. We're going to talk a little bit about this track, the DLC package itself, and the Redbud track, of course, and how lovely it looks. First off, before I get too deep in the video, I am using a PC mod because I'm playing on PC. So this is a paid 2021 PC mod that I'll be sure to include the link in the description to. But that's why I'm playing as Marvin Muscan. So it's just like kind of, you know, you guys will probably be like, oh, I want to play as Marvin, but unless you're on PC, you can't, unfortunately. And just wanted to play as Marvin because he announced this week that he's actually back on the bike. So that's good news for, you know, fans of good racing, I guess. Maybe there are people out there that still aren't fans of Marvin and, you know, whatever. But racing-wise, it's a little bit better when he's on the track just because there's more competition. And while I think he may not actually be a threat for outdoors this year because he's just getting back on the bike from this knee injury, and it took a long road to get back there, it still is good to see that he actually is back on the bike now. So just wanted to play as him and kind of update you guys on that news a little bit. But yeah, this track, Redbud 2020, it's obviously the 2019 version of the track. And obviously kind of like the biggest thing that you notice is that the start is changed from what it used to be. That was because at the 2018 Motocross of Nations, the FIM regulated that they needed a U-turn start instead of like the sweeper, the classic Redbud sweeper start that used to be there for a long time. But I'm actually not that opposed to that decision just because the sweeper used to cause a lot of first turn carnage at Redbud, which was always kind of like unfortunate to see how many people ended up getting hurt, or really just, you know, sometimes even like championship runs were getting stifled because it was a little bit of an unsafe first turn. It was just wide open, fast, chaotic, and it always seemed to cause a little bit of drama. So the new start, you know, while it is a right-hand first turn and everybody will be, you know, going a little bit deeper because of the, you know, wanting to put their foot out on the right side, I still think it's a little bit safer. It's got a little bit more cushion to, you know, bank off of in the first turn and stuff like that. And yeah, so anyway, start moved, but the rest of the track pretty much the same as it's been for the last 8 or so years. I know that up by the triple in the middle section that I'm going out of right now, not Laraco's Leap, but the other section, that section has changed a little bit from like 10 years ago. And probably the biggest change in the track of recent is down here by Laraco's Leap. The Leap was actually moved over like 20 feet to the left. It used to actually come through here and is a lot more of a sweeper, and then where the grandstands are up on the hill right now is actually where Laraco's Leap used to be, but they moved it over. And at one point actually the track did kind of have like a dog leg that kind of stood out at the bottom of the track down there as well. So it has changed a little bit over the years, but for the most part I think it's one of the most steady staple tracks that has been in existence for the last 20 years or so. And obviously, it's always a huge deal race because it normally falls on 4th of July. It's not going to be the case this year, but, you know, obviously that's American Independence Day for those of you that are watching from a foreign country that don't know that. And it tends to bring out just some of the craziest Michigan / all American fans that exist in the country to watch the race. And it's usually just literally slamming beers all weekend and having a good time. And seems like usually even when American riders don't win, it seems to be a pretty positive experience for most people. I mean, I've seen, you know, obviously Marvin himself has won this race of late, and it still seems like it's a party and people are yelling and screaming and having a good time, so that's good. But at the Motocross of Nations, that was not the case. When USA lost, you could hear a pin drop. It was so quiet except for the French fans and their air horns. But yeah, I think it would have been, the roof would have been blown off the place had the USA won that day, but obviously didn't work out, and they'll have to live and fight another day. But I've always really enjoyed this track. Like, it's a staple of American motocross in my opinion, and the track itself is just, it's a good track, man. Like, it's got so many twists and turns and classic sections on it. Laraco's Leap, obviously a big section that everybody knows, but all the other little jumps and U-turns and triples and sweepers and step downs and stuff like that, like, they all have so much history to them now because this track has been on the circuit for so long. And I like Redbud, man. It's definitely one of my favorite tracks on the schedule. I don't know if it's my outright favorite. I still think that, like, I really like Washougal. I think Millville probably falls in terms of like the best track out there right now. Millville's probably up there. Unadilla's a good one. But Redbud is right there in the mix for, you know, best track in the U.S., and rightfully so, because, you know, it hosted a Motocross of Nations, and the long history and the date that it falls on usually every year, and the fans that go. It's an awesome place. I've only actually been there for the Motocross of Nations in 2018, but the facility is top notch in my opinion, and, you know, they have a huge parking lot outside of the facility. Lot B, everybody remembers Lot B, I feel like, for the classic parties that go on there. But tailgating galore. It's always like a whole weekend event for everybody that comes out to this thing. So Redbud, always a really, really cool track to talk about. And now we get to play it in MX vs. ATV All Out. And honestly, I think they built this one really well. Like I said, having been there, it seems like they got the terrain mostly on point, it seems. The one caveat I have to say about it is it feels like they built it kind of small, I guess. Like, I feel like I'm going from section to section really fast, and I haven't specifically looked to see what the lap times are just yet, but I do know that lap time wise, it's shorter time wise to do a full lap on this track than it is in real life, and I think that's just because it's all kind of condensed a little bit tighter together than it is in real life. I'm not sure if that was intentional. Maybe they just started building it and realized it was small but kept going. But yeah, like, overall, I think the build itself is actually pretty good, because like Laraco's Leap is pretty hard to clear. On a 450, it's not terribly hard, but I did try it a couple times on a 250F, and it's pretty dang tough. And then the rest of it seems about as spot on as I can remember from being there. This sweeper did go out a little bit further at Donations, but I think they brought it back in a little closer since the National came back. And then, you know, rollers through here. The step down jump where Alessi got ran over seems pretty close to right. Maybe it's a little bit too long, which is the jump I'm coming up to right here. Come out of this corner, it's like a step down into this little valley area. But yeah, like I said, they just they did a killer job putting this whole thing together. And, you know, if you're a fan of motocross, this is a really cool DLC package, just because you get so much motocross history basically strapped into one. You get all the national tracks essentially by the end of the season. So I like it, man. Really, really cool Redbud track that they came out with here today. Let's explore the facility a little bit. I was trying to hope to get over that fence. Let's see if I can do it over here. Nice. Don't go out of bounds. Oof. So when I was here and watching Donations, I actually stood on the hillside where this off camber is for most of the day, and you could kind of see the whole center of the track from here. And I think I was actually right up here in these trees, kind of standing right around here by this tabletop, and you could see across the track. Here, obviously, it's a little bit different because it's so foggy out right now, but kind of cool. And go into this tunnel, make a lot of noise through there. And then there's the podium up here, which is kind of cool how they formatted this, because this is exactly how it is here, where the fence line, has people come from inside of the track to outside of the track, because they just won the race and they're coming down, and like the fans, they don't want the fans walking onto the podium, so they allow the riders to come up and be like, "Hey fans, what's up? How's it going? It's me. I just won the race," and then they can get involved with the crowd. This little picnic area is there as well. When we first got there at Motocross of Nations, it was pouring rain, so we walked through these tunnels and hit on that picnic area. This bathroom is also there. I like this too. It's Luke's. We got there we go. Luke's corn dogs, featuring Tatum Tots and Papa's Poppers, whatever that means, and then Emmy cones. I remember actually I was gonna look up if Luke or Emmy are like developers or something like that at Rainbow Studios, and that's why they have these stands, but maybe someone could clue me into that as to whether or not that is, you know, a developer of some kind. This little stand right here is like on every track. It seems like it's like a display board for races and times and stuff like that, and it's even got a little thing that says burger combo $2.99. So that's on like every track that I've seen so far. And then they've got obviously the grandstands, which you can actually ride up into. And these grandstands, I think you have to buy tickets to obviously sit by the leap and kind of see this section of the track. But kind of a cool area over here on this end of the circuit where you can see basically kind of the second half of the track, maybe like the second 1/3 of the track or so. We'll go through here. There's obviously another big grandstand area over here. Let's see if I can find my way up there. Then the big American flag. Everybody knows that big American flag. And this big grandstand here. This would probably be the best place to sit, in my opinion, like right up top on this grandstand, because you could look over the backside and see that side of the track, but you could also look over here and see basically this entire side of the track as well. You probably see, I would say, a good 60-70% of the track by sitting in that grandstand. So, if you ever go to Redbud, I'd recommend sitting there. Over here, we've got a Kinnaman's Cotton Candy. Again, another somebody. The main menu has a bunch of scribbles. It's kind of funny. And I think you can go up here. Yeah, you can. This is the announcer's tower where whoever is calling the on-track action, like Rob Bidas or Tim Cotter, they'll sit up here and call the race. Let's see what else is kind of mixed in around here. Obviously, this tabletop, that's where Travis Pastrana did that backflip in 2018, and a couple other people have done some really cool whips and stuff off that table over the years, some big crashes as well. It's kind of not really a big facility, like as opposed to some of the other free ride tracks. Like this one is, it really just kind of tight all the way around the track. You got a little pit area available to go through up here. Got some silos and some other things, but I've really kind of showed you around just about everywhere at this point. I think I'm trying to remember if I've blatantly missed something. Could set a waypoint and jump up here. I don't think there's anything up here except for just a little out of bounds map. You can kind of drop down in here and go through this tunnel, but nothing really spectacular or special about it. It's just kind of like a little dull, easy free ride area. Can I jump up on this? Oh, come on. Yeah, I guess I'm just an idiot and can't get all the way up there. Come on! Nah, I give up. No reason to get on that stand anyway. You're not going much higher. We'll go over here, though, and we'll check out the pit area real fast. Oh, that's out of bounds. Whoa, I'm stuck in the tunnel. Okay, there we go. Yeah, nothing really else. Just pit area over here. This is where the team trucks and stuff pit out of. Like I said, there's some water silos up here. I guess this is where the water trucks would come through and pick up their water. Really nicely modeled staircase right here. But yeah, Redbud. Like I said, nothing crazy about it, but a nice little addition to the DLC package, out now on console and PC. Definitely update your systems, whatever you need to do. Try it out today. A lot of fun. And if you haven't purchased the package yet, like I said, it's $19.99. That's US dollars for the entire package, and the tracks are released intermittently, so it's not like you get everything right off from the beginning, but you will eventually get all 11 nationals minus Fox Raceway plus Loretta Lynn's, and then they do say that Fox Raceway is supposed to be coming at some point, so we'll see sometime around September, October, maybe they have an announcement about what's going on with that. But yeah, given that Supercross is over and we're heading into Nationals, it's time to get hyped for motocross, people, and we're starting today by checking out Redbud a little bit. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and appreciate you guys stopping by. Watch another video here on Start Your Systems. As always, I'll see you guys in the next one. So long for now.